Hey Cancer, your May reading is ready, and if you have any questions about something that comes up here today in this space, I am happy to connect with you in the comments, so feel free to reach out. I'm Eleanor, and this reading includes your May theme, 3 clarifiers on it, your week-to-week forecast, work, money, career, and stuff up here, love down here, and then an affirmation for the badass that you are. So your theme for May is lake, stillness. So somehow you might need to build in somehow, some way to slow things down. This really seems to be a common theme right now for everybody. You might need to figure out how to put up a strong boundary around yourself against collective urgency. And this can be found in a space that you create in your home or somewhere that you feel drawn to in nature, or even if you can just find it in your own head somewhere. It's going to be critical at certain points in May to relax and let things settle. So your first clarifier for lake is the wheel, and they are clearly indicating the still eye of the storm, the calm center around everything else as it storms and spins and it whirls. The stillness is your key to avoiding disorientation. Some great ways to center yourself in the midst of chaos are like breathing mindfully, focusing on stable, solid things in your immediate present surroundings. So that's like grounding activities, walking, a cup of tea that you just drink slowly with your full attention and all of your senses engaged. So finding stillness by finding your center. Now your second clarifier is the 6 of Wands. So, the never-ending search for approval. So there's two things here. For one, it's your calm-centeredness that could actually either by itself attract or facilitate actions and behaviors that attract that validation that we all kind of need at some point. The other thing is to let your wins breathe like fine wine. Take time to savor before diving back into the fray. Don't neglect patting yourself on the back. So your third clarifier is the Page of Pentacles. And so there is something here about stress reduction so that something new can take root. And that kind of sounds like almost like fertility advice, but I'm not in the business of giving that. But it can be a decent metaphor. And side note, if you don't already have a regular routine, I would create one this month. It'll create like a lattice work so that cycles will start to be detectable. It's an opportunity to institute a calming practice in a predictable and regular way. And there's something here about starting a new habit that's going to help improve your health or finances in some way. But I don't see anything specific, just a silent blank canvas, an inhale, and then the first brush stroke across it. Or like an a cappella intro into a song. There's no instruments, just the sound on a backdrop of nothing. I'm sorry, it's coming through just really abstract for a Pentacles card. So the first week you have the Death card, so a big transition coming in to kick off May. Out with the old, in with the new, as they say. And the only way, literally the only way to navigate this energy is to not cling. And then bloop, out the other side, reborn, shiny and new, like a snake, all shiny from shedding its skin. It's itchy, dry, flaky skin. And I don't want anyone to stress or worry, because when transitions like this occur, you have felt that restrictive itch for a while, and that doesn't make it easy, but resistance makes it way worse. It takes it from uncomfortable but transitory to painful and drawn out, to resist and to cling. Now for the second week, you have the World. See awesome things on the other side. This is a week when you might find some completion, satisfying closure, or final resolution on something that you've been in a cycle of for a long time. It is a kind of weightless moment in time. There's not much navigationally to really do here. Just allow a little bit of stillness. There is no need to rush to the next thing without enjoying this moment first. That's kind of a fast track to burnout. Now for the third week, you have the Queen of Pentacles. This is a great week for making this stillness more physical and environmental. This can mean meditating or even just the enjoyment of creating a meditation space for future use to create that infrastructure. It can mean noise reduction somehow, or literally just giving your body the type of rest that it's asking for. If you have an active job or lifestyle, this can mean sitting down and resting your bones. Or if you have a desk job or a more sedentary lifestyle that involves a lot of mental activity, some exercise can bring stillness to your mind if that's what's needed. And stillness aside, it's a great week for catching up on tasks in the home, catching up on some financial to-dos, or reaffirming a healthy habit. Grounding in nature are also indicated here. So for the fourth week, you have the Three of Wands reversed. There is something here about the difference between stillness and passivity. And while all month long it's going to be important to return to center and restore inner calm, here at the end of the month, you might have to stop waiting for something to come to you and make moves to go after it while maintaining that inner equilibrium. But also, or rather I should say instead, it could be that a call you've been waiting for, a payment, a package, a decision could be delayed. Not canceled, but delayed. And by remaining still, it doesn't delay it further. Like when you were a kid, okay, lost in the store, they would tell you to stay in one place and let your parents find you, right? Or it's like being at the post office, arguing with the person there trying to retrieve your package and then not being home when they try to deliver it or whatever because you were at the post office. I mean, I know they're just metaphors, but I know I had two sort of contradictory scenarios there, so take the one that resonates or feels still inside when you imagine it. So for work, you have the Emperor. Actually, this is called Majesty in this deck, and Release, which is like the Death card. So that's a double confirmation there. Having that twice, that big changes are happening for the better. But they change when you take control and responsibility over a situation. And this could especially play out towards the end of the month with that reverse Three of Wands, where something isn't happening on its own, and you might have to act decisively or maintain decisively. And what I mean by that is like, in war scenarios, when the general commands his troops to hold, and like they don't move without the command to do so. And people don't often realize it or say it, but the Death card can be a promotion or a job change in that your old life in that lower rank is over and you're reborn as a leader. And in order to be a successful leader, you have to let the more submissive or follower identity completely fall away and awaken to the acceptance that you're in power. You make the calls, no one else. And I see that with the Three of Wands reversed too. If you're waiting for a nod, it's not coming because they're looking to you for the nod. So for love, you have the Five of Swords and Nine of Pentacles. And this does indicate a small degree of conflict, particularly around personal space. Someone in the story is wanting more me time. And if it isn't honored, it could have some downstream erosive effects. Now, whichever side of that you find yourself on, the Five of Swords brings up the question of whether or not being right in the situation is worth it. It asks, is this the hill you want to die on? Metaphorically speaking, is this a battle worth picking? And it doesn't answer that, mind you, it just asks. That's for you to answer. Maybe you decide not. Maybe you decide resoundingly yes, and it empowers you to do the right thing now for the long-term health of the connection. Now, if this isn't referring to a relationship you're already in, but a situation of interest, it's about asserting your independence and then asking questions around, is doing so giving signals that you're not available, or do you need to lean into your independence to attract someone that's looking for a strong, independent partner, and then finding the balance in that. It also says, is this potential connection worth sacrificing your independence for? Actually, okay, so to phrase that better, the best litmus test to use here is this. Is being with this person at least, if not more, peaceful than being alone? And then inquire yourself further, if the answer is no, are there other things to balance that out for you? So your affirmation for a badass is, you did not wake up today to be effing average. I mean, duh, right? You've got the Wheel, you've got Death twice, you have the Queen of Pentacles, you have the Emperor, or Majesty, I should say, you have the Nine of Pentacles, all power energies. Strong, sovereign, weighty, mighty is how you look in May. So find that stillness on your throne, Cancer, and enjoy. And I will talk to you for June.